We was actually ranking #1 for all of our keywords.
Why have you not tried to run agencies where you do client SEO? Why do you only do your own websites?
Everyone's jumped on the AI bandwagon thinking this is the solution to me scaling sites. The helpful content update seemed to have hit a lot of genuinely good sites.
Do reviews play a role in local rankings at all?
You've got to be able to do PPC, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Twitter ads, Facebook retargeting. I don't want people to come onto my website and come off my site and not inquire and me not retarget them on Facebook. Facebook retargeting is the cheapest form of kind of getting people back to your site that there is. It's ridiculously cheap, but we provide the best service that there is in the UK because we guarantee a return on investment.
Do you see many penalties in local and lead generation SEO?
If AI can improve who I am as an individual and improve my output or any of my staff's output, I'm going to use it. If it doesn't improve it, then I'm not going to use it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode where I'll be interviewing entrepreneurs and experts from around the SEO world. In today's episode, I've got someone who's back on the channel once again. You asked for him in the comments. As per always, he's super popular. Please welcome to the channel, James Dooley, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! Doing you right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm glad you came back for another episode. I know in the last episode we had a lot of people that wanted to ask follow-up questions and just get a lot more out of it because they're always looking for a lot of business insights, because I think you're one of the few people in SEO that's probably entrepreneur first and SEO second, whereas most people are SEO first and entrepreneur second, right? And I think that gives you a lot more insights into business and sales and all sorts of things that most SEOs naturally lack, let alone actually having any sort of knowledge around and stuff. So thank you for coming back on. I think the first question that I want to just jump straight into, and it kind of talks about that, is at what stage and what reason, and this is also asked by one of the comments, so what stage and what reason did you diversify your business? Because you started in the construction niche, I think, primarily, and then moved into every other niche that's profitable on the planet, it seems.
Yeah. So, I mean, diversification came from, initially we was in need of leads, obviously in-house for our own construction company, which built playgrounds, did like fencing, floodlights, built tennis courts, sports pitches and stuff like that. And the diversification came from, we was actually ranking #1 for all of our keywords. And it got to a point where we was trying to think, how could we still grow even though we thought that we'd absorbed. I mean, back then, 15 years ago, you didn't have all the keyword research tools like you have now. You didn't have all the knowledge of doing the alphabet soup method, using ChatGPT to help you with new topic ideas, Ahrefs, SEMrush. We didn't have all the tools. So when we thought we was ranking for obviously all of them, now in hindsight, we wasn't. But the core keywords it was ranking for. And I always called it shouldering niches. So what else, if we got other businesses busier, could it complement our business? And that's how the diversification came. There wasn't any business plan being set up to say, right, we're going to become the biggest lead generator in the UK, bar none. There wasn't a plan for that. It just kind of evolved, and we got landscaping companies, tarmacking companies, construction companies. We got all those to become busier. And obviously, as part of their work was building a sports pitch, and we was then able to do the surfacing and stuff like that on there. And that's how it just grew, and just one thing led to another. And some kind of warehouses wanted to convert into a football pitch. They needed finance, and they was asking me, who, like you said, I'm more of an entrepreneur than I am an SEO. And they were saying, do you know anyone that can help with your finance? So I was like, yes, I do. And I didn't, but I'm like, I'll find someone. So then it just led from one thing to another. And you start speaking to someone that does finance, that can lend them money that might be for the business. And then they say, oh, if you can get me more of these type of inquiries, then obviously from there, then we could get kickbacks. And then the kickbacks became more profitable than actually the construction company. Now, don't get me wrong, the construction company's grown to a level where we never thought it could. It's gone from £500,000 up to £8 million, but that's how the diversification came. So in being recommending what for other SEOs to do, I would start very niche and I'd stay in your lane to start with before you start expanding. Become the expert in, let's say, plumbing or electricians or roofing or whatever it is. Become an expert in that, and you'll start finding, as you go down a rabbit hole, sub niches within plumbing that's profitable. And then from there, then if you want to go bigger and you want to have a large team, then diversify. But I wouldn't diversify unless you've got a large team and you know what you're doing. Like I'd say my biggest problem with some of these interviews, Charles, is everyone wants to create shortcuts, and there's no shortcuts to doing it right. You've got to do it right, and to do it right, you need to have a decent team. Otherwise, not only will the SEO not work and you not find the right kind of niches, sub niches to go into, you also won't find the right clients that's going to service the leads in the best possible way.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the only shortcut that you already have is capital hacks, right? So things that you can immediately kind of use to grow your capital, but that's not going to cause any sort of longevity or any sort of massive growth in terms of large businesses and scaling and stuff, right? That's only going to allow you to invest into more assets and things and stuff. So I want to kind of talk to you about why didn't you ever do client work? Why have you not tried to run agencies where you do client SEO? Why do you only do your own websites? Have you not ever found it easier to just kind of sit back and collect a £10,000 a month paycheck off, 200, 300 companies in the UK?
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, that is a great question to ask of why not the SEO agency route as opposed to the lead generation and the rank and rent model route? And the truth of the matter is, so many times at the very start of the journey, we got asked, can we rank their websites? And we actually started, and it was probably only for about 7 or 8 months, we actually started doing SEO for other people's websites. And it just became an absolute logistical nightmare where they wanted meetings. And back then, it wasn't just doing a Zoom meeting. They wanted face-to-face meetings, which slowed us down of what work we could get done. They wanted nice glossy reports. And some of these reports wasn't like how much more traffic and how many more leads and how much more like return on investment that they made. These was generally with marketing people that they wanted to look good to their bosses, not really delving into what money do they make, which is what a business owner wants. And when you was dealing with these marketing managers, they was more like, yeah, but how many new Twitter followers have you gained this month? And I'm like, gaining Twitter followers doesn't matter, right? But then we started to fall in. We started to get some big clients that had brand protection officers within the business. So anything that we wrote with regards to content, it needed to get signed off by them. And they was coming back with like little tiny, can you change this? Can you change that? Can you change this? Before you know it, we was only uploading like 1, maybe 2 articles a month. But you'll know as much as me, you need topical authority. You need to be scaling content as quickly as possible. Obviously not too quick that you get penalized, but you need to be scaling content and scaling links. And we was being held back by clients. And the main reason why we started to say, do you know what? Let's just build a website. Let's just do exactly what they want, which is to generate leads for X, Y, and Z. And let's not have all of this. I need a brand protection officer. I don't like the color of this button. Can you do this? Can you do that? We don't need to explain everything of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And that's why we moved away very quickly from the SEO agency model. But if you don't know how to rank websites, then you will struggle with doing what we do. We are very good. We've got an in-house testing team. We're very good at generating the inquiries that turn into a return on investment for clients. And if you can't do that, then the SEO agency route is a much better kind of place for you. If you know how to rank and know how to bank very quickly, then the rank and rent model is a better solution, in my opinion.
And I think that the time frame as well, you can set up an agency and get those skills and develop everything a lot faster, then you can run tests and long form, experiments in niches and rankings and all sorts of stuff, right? That's a massively long form and capital intensive game. Whereas you can set up an agency tomorrow with $50, literally, right? With just, registering your company and a domain name and some cheap hosting.
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with algorithm updates? As of filming this today, it's just been released that the core and spam updates for March have come out. But I want to talk more about HCU because it seems to be more impactful so far. Hopefully not a future damning us all to health with some crazy update that's going to kill us all. But how are you dealing with updates? Do you specifically have any ideas around how HCU has affected content sites and how it's affected affiliates, and how you guys have been reacting to it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the helpful content update, in my opinion, in September was, especially in the affiliate market and display ads market, was the biggest update I've ever seen since I've been in it for 14, 15 years. And there's still probably 95% of the websites still haven't recovered. They're still in a negative ranking state. And it's hard to get out of a negative ranking state until you build back up momentum, and obviously you then start getting into a positive ranking state, and it's so difficult to get yourself out of it. And the main way of getting out of it is like the next algorithm update that comes along, the next core algorithm update. So I think a lot of people, obviously we're talking about this and we're only 2 days in from the double update that's just happened. There's no data out there that sites have recovered yet and stuff like that. There's a lot of sites that have been penalized. They all seem to be manual kind of penalties against public case studies and stuff like that, or where it is just pure spam. So in my opinion, Google obviously trying to come after like parasite SEO, people that they're definitely not coming after AI. There's so many sites with AI that still, and I know we're still new into it, so many sites that are absolutely still booming with AI content, apart from the public case study ones that have been hit, or the ones that are using an AI tool that's just not quality, that they're just churning out content, not internal linking it, the context of the page. It's crap, if you're being honest with you. Like, and do you know what? Some of these people are just, everyone tries to shortcut the ways of doing stuff, and now everyone's jumped on the AI bandwagon thinking this is the solution to me scaling sites at a rate of knots. But you still need to have an SEO putting the right prompts in, uploading it, internal linking it, silo structure being good, trying to make it multimedia rich, adding videos, adding images in there and stuff like that, and making it good for the user. So like this helpful content update is, you should be doing helpful content for the users. My only issue is, and a bit of a kind of bearing against Google, is the helpful content update seemed to have hit a lot of genuinely good sites that wasn't AI written, that people have put their bloody heart and soul into it for many years, and they've been hit and replaced with Reddit. And some of the Reddit forums that was ranking was just absolutely garbage. And they've got a problem, obviously. I mean, I've got a lot of time for, obviously Google's made me, over the years, they've made me a lot of money. I've built out a lot of sites that are ranking in Google, and I feel they are genuinely trying to do everything they can for what is best for the user. And they have got a massive issue with regards to SEOs just doing copycat content. And I think the biggest issue was, and what they've been trying to factor in, is everyone's obsessed with getting the number 1 rankings or the number 2 rankings and correlating against those articles. And Google's point is, if someone clicks on number 1 result and doesn't like it, and then clicks onto number 2 result, and it's the same as the number 1 result, they still don't like it. And now they get to a point where they don't like Google because Google keep presenting them with the same article, but just slightly varied up and almost doing like what you used to kind of preach about 15 years ago. They're spinning the article. That's all people are doing. They're just doing spin rewriters of articles that saying the same thing, the same 10 affiliate links that are on there. So them trying to mix it up by putting some user-generated content in like Reddit, I think it's a good thing to have some sort of sites like that, but mixed in with some affiliate sites as well. But I just think they've gone too far with it. And I think now I think this double update, I think it's the first time, I might be wrong here, I think it's the first time they've ever done a double update together. And I think it's bad that they do double updates because you never know what's going on. Like you could be level and go, oh, I've not been hit, I'm absolutely fine. But you might have been hit with one and jumped up with another, and you don't know, but you're still stagnant. So correlation doesn't always mean causation. And when there's double penalties that are coming out or double kind of algorithm updates coming out, you don't know whether one could have been, like, you might have slightly gone up and gone, I've done really well, but one of them you might have tanked and the other one you might have shot up loads. So it's but I feel like they've had to do it. They've had to make a statement out there. There is so many spammers and scammers and stuff out there where people are using AI for the wrong reasons. Reddit now is being manipulated big time, but I don't know what they're going to do on that front, because obviously there's certain investments that they've done with Reddit and stuff like that. But back to your question, the helpful content update, what I've been doing is trying to make certain that I'm looking through the content and saying, is this helpful? I'm kind of listening to what they're saying and saying, is this helpful for the user? And I'm not just doing it because what Google says and what Google does is two completely different things. But actually, is it actually helpful for the user? Because if it's not going to convert anyway. So like, genuinely, from wearing my business hat, if it's not good for the user, it's not going to convert. If it's good for the user and it's internal linking to lots of other articles, and you do have topical authority, well, away again from Google's topical authority, if you can get people from the top of the funnel keywords and coming down, and you're answering all the questions that they have, that they come and make an informed decision because of the information of what you've done via several articles, well, you just change that person from top of the funnel, informational type post, to buying from you or inquiring with you. That's what real businesses should do. That's a sales funnel. So people might want to call it topical authority, but I'm calling it on my own site. I want to try to get them here to convert in here. And it's a sales funnel. So yes, it's meaning cover the topic in its entirety and all the rest of it, but make certain it's bloody good content. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I've done. And I'm not just wearing, like I said, I'm not just doing it wearing Google's hat to kind of follow exactly what they're saying. I'm doing it for the user, which is the most important part of why I created the site in the first place.
And now for a quick message from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. If you're looking for digital PR campaigns, what you're about to see should impress you.
This is how we landed massive links for our client in The Sun, a DR90 website, and many other UK news websites. We have used freely available data from YouGov to simply find out what the nation's favorite car brand is and which brands people love the most. Of course, Rolls-Royce came out on top, Aston Martin second, and Jaguar third. We put these insights in a short email and sent it to journalists that write about cars and to national news desks on behalf of our client. Within a few days, our client got featured in all the Suns, as well as many regional newspaper sites in the UK, gaining DR90 links to their leasing comparison website. YouGov website is full of unlimited PR stories with data already available for free. All you have to do is to start researching their data and start asking the data questions. You will be surprised of the unlimited PR campaigns that you will find there that can help you build massive exposure and links to your or your clients' websites. I hope this video is helpful and inspirational.
I totally agree with everything you said. I think the fundamental issue that they will always have is that they're basing the algorithm now on classifiers, right? And because those classifiers are preset trained on data, and those data examples are literally red light, green light, whether it should be used or not, that's obviously going to pick up and have outliers of genuinely good people and genuinely good content that gets picked up by those classifiers. And without any way to kind of be able to report it or get back or something, you could lose sites that have got millions and millions of visitors that are genuinely really good, built up brands and things. And that has shown with the update that's just hit recently, right? So you manage hundreds, if not thousands, of websites at this point. How do you do it? What's your processes? Do you just have a million employees running it all behind the scenes? Are you using AI to just run everything? How are you kind of managing this many sites nowadays?
So we do use AI quite a lot now. Obviously, we're trying to integrate AI more and more. We're not replacing any humans with AI at present, but we're allowing AI to supercharge what they do, so their output. So like Midjourney and DALL-E and Adobe Firefly and all them, they're starting to use all the right tools to be able to create amazing images, better than images than my initial graphic designers was doing. They're able to put the right prompts in and create these images that I'm like blown away by. Wow, this is incredible. So on that front, from an image point that they're doing it, we're crunching the data a lot more using AI. So like lead nurturing and stuff like that. That's been a massive part. Like we've had several different data scientists coming in to work out what sites, how much we're spending on certain sites and what is our ROI, but also long-term ROI, because obviously there's times in certain industries, let's say mortgages, for example, you might not get paid on a mortgage lead for 7 months because it takes a while for everything to go through. Where if it's like a repair niche or an emergency niche, when we was crunching the data, we're like, repair niche and emergency niche are the most profitable niches that you can go into. No, you just get paid faster on them. It's not that it's the most profitable niche. It just, you can almost get paid up front. Yes, not a problem. I'll come out today. It's going to cost you £200 as a call out charge. You've got to pay it now. If it's only costing you £100 for the lead and you're getting paid 200 straight away, you're going, wow, that's an amazing return on investment. But some of the others might only cost you £50 for a lead, but you might make £1,000, but it might take 7 months to get paid. So we've kind of been working on a lot of that data and on the lead nurturing side for AI. The truth of the matter is, yeah, we've got over 1,000 websites, including like the test data sites and stuff like that. And we've got a big team. Like we've got content writers, we've got editors, we've got now prompt engineers, we've got graphic designers, we've got videographers, we've got developers, we've got technical SEO team. Obviously, I've bought like certain agencies like Searcheroo, which does content and does. They've got like if I needed an overflow of content writers, they've got content writers. Invested in certain other tools. I bought Backlink Doctor that does a lot of disavows on behalf of like Rick Lomas. Got all of his processes, tried to improve upon his processes and make it even better from wearing an SEO hat to make certain that I'm not just disavowing links that might be powerful. That opened our eyes then to what is good links and what is bad links, what are trusted links, what are toxic links, because previously we used to do DR and traffic and think was advanced because we might do DR, traffic and relevance, where now we can kind of look at certain other parameters of toxicity and trust as well, which help with our buying or us earning the links. We're trying to do a lot of, with regards to AI now, crunch a lot of data and make a lot of linkable assets, and then actually outbound linking, reaching out to people that have linked to articles that might be 4, 5, 6 years old, and getting those. And we've had really good success with doing that. There's other linkable assets you can create with AI, like calculators and stuff like that. So AI's just allowed us to fast track building these amazing linkable assets that people genuinely want to link to, that you don't then need to go and try to start buying guest posts or niche edits or stuff like that. And all that's coming within it. So in answer to your question, yeah, it's difficult to keep the culture. You've got a middle management kind of team. You know all my team, obviously. So like when you first came in and you was training up like Dan, Elliot, Amelia and Lucy and Scott and people like that, they've now been with me for 11, 12 years. They was apprentices. They came out of school and was apprentices on £400-500 a month. And in the UK, that is like absolute pittance. You know what I mean? It's pennies. But that's how they started, and now they're directors of the company. They've grown massively. They've built up their own assets. They've evolved as individuals, and they've all now got like VAs and people that work underneath them that they've trained up and they've developed to help build the sites out and stuff like that. So I don't deal with every single member of staff within the company. I kind of try and deal with the middle management system, and they've all got kind of 8, 9 or 10 members of staff underneath them. But it's difficult, mate. I'm not going to sit there saying it's really easy to go and build out 1,000 sites that rank and dealing with all the different clients in all the different industries. It's tough. You've got to roll up your sleeves. You've got to work hard. You've got to make certain that your not only your customers are happy with what they're getting out of it, otherwise they're going to keep wanting meetings, but also your staff are happy. And generally speaking, our model moved into the rank and rent model very quickly because our customers love the model. And when your customers really like it and they make a return on investment, then your staff start to have good relationships with your customers. The customers aren't ringing you up moaning. They're generally ringing you up with new niches, or can we build on this? If I give you more money, can you do X, Y, and Z? And they're always positive conversations. So I think that's very important. If you are doing, let's say, client SEO and you wasn't ranking, or they've been hit and stuff like that, and you're still trying to get £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 a month out of them, that must be a hard sell, because the traffic's dropped and you're still trying to get money out of them. Where for us, a lot of them only pay on a back end and on a conversion. So they only pay when they've made profit. And that's where we can guarantee a return on investment. And for that reason, we've got happy staff, which then means, sorry, we've got happy customers, which then means we've got happy staff. And it kind of all evolves from there.
Yeah, your team level confidence really depends on your client success rate as well, right? So yeah, the amount of clients that we've had before that are, phoning up immediately 3 days after you've hired, where are the results, things like that and stuff. Yeah. And you're trying to get your team to just be try and set expectations, try and be that, but also their confidence just starts to go down if they continually have clients phoning up, right? So you want to be making sure that you're selling and managing expectations across clients or team, everybody. Do you use PBN hosting? Because you have so many different sites, right? How are you managing IP addresses, CDNs? Are you using some sort of PBN hosting provider?
We use a majority of the sites are on use Cloudflare at the front end, but yeah, we've got different hosting. We don't use any PBN hosting. We try and keep everything on the premium front of hosting. We try and just do what a real business does at the end of the day. So we want to make, the last thing I want is my server to be overrun and us getting 500 errors. Do you know what I mean? Because that just absolutely kills the site. So instead of cheaping out and paying £5-10 a month on hosting per site, we spending a lot more. But I'm happy to spend, I don't know, I think it's something like £5,000-6,000 a month on hosting. So it's a big chunk of what we're paying, but they've got lots of different hosting providers for different industries and stuff like that. We try not to have any specific PBN hosting and stuff like that, because we just don't want a PBN network being taken down and then us with our money sites being taken down as part of that. So again, I don't really, some people kind of ask me, I can get it cheaper for you. And I'm like, I just don't want the hassle. It works. Clients are happy. It never goes down. It's protected with Cloudflare at the front end, so it's full cache and stuff like that. So if it does come up with any negative SEO kind of hits and stuff, Cloudflare can kind of help on that front. And I mean, you know me, I'm not very technical, if I'm being honest with you, mate. I just know that I just don't want to cheap out, and I prefer to get premium hosting where I just don't want any 500 errors. Otherwise, my technical team are going to get a right roasting off me.
Yeah, fair enough. So you're using rank and rent quite a lot, right? Is it easy? Because a lot of people seem to, do these crazy titles about how you can set up rank and rent sites in 15 minutes, and it's the easiest business model in SEO, and you can make $15,000 a month, with 3 websites and things like that. I don't think it's that easy, and I know that local SEO is a lot easier than traditional SEO, where you're trying to rank for SERPs and e-commerce keywords and CPA keywords and things like that. But is the rank, how are you finding the rank and rent model in 2024 specifically?
So the rank and rent model, I would say, right, and I think this will surprise people. I would say the rank and rent model is 10 times harder than traditional SEO, right? And let me try and explain that to you, and I'll explain why. Rank and rent, you need to rank the website before you can rent it, right? So you need to be doing everything that you know with regards to traditional SEO. But then you could then go and do all that work, and it could be the wrong type of inquiry that you're generating. So you genuinely need to dig down with your client and not just chase the highest search volume keywords. It's where do they make money? And you need to get one of your salespeople to speak to them, several times over to try and extract information about them, extract product codes, extract specification information. Because if you want an architect to specify you, they're not going to type in something very generic. They're going to type in the exact, like they want a 3 mil self-leveling epoxy resin flooring solution. Do you know what I mean? They know exactly what they want, right? And you need to understand and cater for those because they're big clients and it could be a big job. Where if you are just doing garage flooring, for example, they might just type in garage flooring if it's domestic and residential. But you need to understand the whole logistical, where do they make the money? And you need to break that down. And sometimes dealing with a business owner and asking them, no, but where do you make your money? They feel awkward in answering that question. But you have to get that information out of them. And they're like, well, why do you need to know that? I'm like, because I'm trying to get you the leads that make you the most money, which will provide us the biggest kickbacks. I don't want to give you lots of leads that are like small jobs that you don't make the money on. So not only have you got to be good with traditional SEO and ranking it, you've also got to be good at dealing and speaking to business owners several times over, build trust and build a relationship up with those business owners. You then need to know how to rank it, but then also certain industries, it might not even be SEO, the main source of you generating the leads. It could be Facebook ads. It could be PPC. It could be at certain times of the year. So prime example, next week in the betting industry, you might be wanting to run ads like Twitter ads, YouTube ads, Pinterest ads and stuff like that because Cheltenham Festival is only on for 1 week. Do you know what I mean? So when it's only on for that 1 week, yes, it's all right. It's good to try and rank, but actually that week gets dominated by Google News, right? Google News takes over pretty much the first page. So are you good at ranking in Google News if you're doing like something that's specifically for a specific time or an event? You've got to be good at ranking in Google News. You've got to be good at display ads. You've got to be like being seen on other people's websites. And holistically, you've got to be able to do PPC, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Twitter ads, Facebook retargeting. I don't want people to come onto my website and come off my site and not inquire and me not retarget them on Facebook. Facebook retargeting is the cheapest form of kind of getting people back to your site that there is. It's ridiculously cheap. So I need people that are good at social media ads. It's not just, and also, and this is absolute facts and people can try to deny it all they want, getting people coming back to your site or getting traffic from external sources through to your site, in my opinion, is the #1 ranking factor above all. But you still, obviously, it's a bad statement to probably say that. You still need content, you still need links. But traffic and behavioral signals is key. So if holistically, I can get traffic from different sources going through to my website, I've ranked websites with, I would say is mediocre content, could be better. I've ranked it by getting a lot of traffic from different sources. I wasn't even meaning to be ranking it in Google, but because the amount of traffic it got from Twitter ads, YouTube ads, Pinterest ads, PPC, and all the rest of it, and those behavioral signals, it started ranking for terms that the words weren't even on the page. And it's ranking for those terms. And it's like, wow, Google are way more intelligent than you just thinking, oh, I've not got this word on a page, I need to put it on the page. Like behavioral signals and traffic is also a big factor alongside good quality content, topical authority, and backlinks.
Do reviews play a role in local rankings at all?
So we used to try to do GMBs, and what we used to try to do is we'd speak to the client and say, can we do a GMB at your address? Now, if they've already got a GMB at their address, you can't then go and do a secondary one, unless it's in like a different category and stuff like that. But Google have become very, very, very stringent on the maps listings to the point where literally loads of genuine GMBs have been taken down, right? And we had two actual people full-time in doing GMBs and ranking GMBs that was just consistently going back and forth with Google with real GMBs saying, you've taken our site down, right, I need you to go and do a video. Then we're having to do a video, right, I need you to do a bank statement or electricity bill statement. And I'm just like, do you know what? The amount of work involved in keeping a real GMB up wasn't worth the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can generate a lot of leads via GMBs. in answer to your question of does reviews help a lot on GMBs, but we've just moved away from it ourselves because too many times they just get taken down. Too many times, even real reviews. So like we had these little like cards that we'd give to customers. And whenever our customers was doing a job, we was asking them to send like a WhatsApp or an email to say, get your client, whether it's a school or a head teacher or whoever it is, once we've done the job, if you're happy with the job, get them to go and leave us a genuine review, right? But majority of these people didn't even have Google Chrome and a Gmail stuff set up in schools. So they was logging in for the first time, setting up the account, leaving us a 5-star review, and probably never left another 5-star review anywhere online. And they just look fake. Do you know what I mean? But there was genuine like head teachers of schools that was leaving us a review. But I can see why Google was going, this person here has just randomly set up a Gmail and set up an account and then just left one 5-star review and not done anything else since. So it was all getting taken down, but there was genuine reviews. So GMBs and reviews we've kind of stayed away from. I'd say if anyone wants information on that, speak to like Millerno or Brock and all those guys over in the States. They crush it on lead generation of GMBs and stuff, but it's not really something long-term that we want to get involved with.
So you said that GMBs and GMPs get taken down quite regularly. Do you see many penalties in local and lead generation SEO?
I never used to, but I've started to see a lot of sites get de-indexed, and I've started to see a lot of sites the whole site or just the home. It seems to be just the home page remains indexed, and all the other pages get de-indexed. And I feel like with regards to some of these classifiers, if you've gone and got 200,000 pages on a site and majority of them are genuinely not good quality, then Google's just going to go, it's just indexed below and I need to get this out of my index. So yes, there has been a lot of sites being de-indexed in local. Luckily, we've never had any. And the only reason why I think we've not had any is we try to build proper business. We put genuine videos on there. We put unique images on there from the clients. We link through to our clients. We say who it is that's going to do it. Someone goes and fills in a form on, let's say, carpet cleaning in Manchester. And when they fill in the form, they'll get a phone call within a couple of minutes. And guess who's ringing them? A carpet cleaning company in Manchester. So is that helpful content? Yeah, absolutely it is. We're delivering what the user wants, which is they want some carpet cleaning being done in Manchester, and a carpet cleaning company in Manchester is ringing them up. If you want a mortgage, a traditional, let's say, a first-time buyer mortgage in London, well, we've got mortgage brokers in London. So when you go and fill it in on that page, a mortgage broker from London goes and gives them a ring. And is that a good user experience for them? Absolutely it is. Where some of these people they're doing these mass page local sites even, and they're just spamming it with Ezoic, Mediavine, AdThrive, Google AdSense. And why are they doing that? Because what they've done is they thought that rank and rent or lead generation was very easy. And actually trying to find a client. Listen to this one. We do a lot of ours on a pay on performance and pay on conversion. So what we're telling them is, listen, Mr. Client, you don't need to pay anything for the website. You don't need to pay anything for content, anything for any backlinks, anything for any SEO, any PPC that we do, you don't need to pay anything for. Any Facebook ads, you don't need to pay anything for. Any videos that we create for you, you don't need to pay anything for. You don't even need to pay for the leads. All what you do is pay for the conversion. Are you all right with that? So many of them, even when we say all of that, are like, ooh, sounds like a scam. And we can't even, sometimes it's difficult to try and even give it away. So some of these people that are trying to get into rank and rent and trying to sell leads or rent out a website that's not generating that many leads, well, good luck to you. Because do you know what? A lot of business owners get 10 emails a day saying, I rank you #1 in Google, or do you want leads? We provide the best, most exclusive leads that there is on the marketplace. They get spammed with it every single day. So they don't trust you. And the truth of the matter is, that's our biggest pain point, that even though we deliver, in my opinion, the best service that there is in the UK, we only deal in the UK, but we provide the best service that there is in the UK because we guarantee a return on investment. right? Even though we do that, there's still a trust point for the first 3 or 4 months. They just feel like this is a scam. And it's like trying to get around that it's not a scam is very difficult, because we genuinely are trying to get them the best quality leads that there is, and for them to make money. Otherwise, we don't make money. But people just spam them every day on the emails. I rank you #1, and do you want leads? But we're trying to do the lead nurturing. We're trying to make certain we segment leads. So if someone's a mortgage broker, but they only want to deal with mortgages over £200,000, well, that's all we'll send them. If these are a mortgage broker, but they want to deal with bad credit mortgages for a terraced house, which is £80,000, well, that's what we'll send to them as well. So we'll try to always give the leads that they think they're best at converting. And to do that, you need a big database. You need lead nurturing put in place. We've got a call center as well. So if there's a lot of leads that are being generated, we've got certain, imagine this, we've got certain mortgage brokers that only want leads between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Any lead after 4 p.m., they don't want it. Just don't want it. Like, how'd you deal with that? Do you know what I mean? But then, so then what you'll turn around and do is if I'm in a mastermind sometimes and they're doing lead generation, I say to them, what would you do there? They went, I won't have them as a client. I'm like, but the point is, between 10 and 4 o'clock, they're the best client that you can have. They convert the most. You make the most money out of them between 10 and 4. So you're being slightly naive as a business person in not having it. But then you've got to have systems set up that at 4:01, the segmentation of the leads, it goes somewhere else. Have you got that database and that system that allows you to distribute leads at certain times of the day for where they convert the best? If not, well, good luck to you, because you're going to struggle.
And the last question kind of follows up perfectly there with you. How are you attributing all of these leads when you're doing this kind of scale of lead attribution and making sure that you're actually getting paid out by so many clients and so many different vendors and things that you're working with?
So everything's tracked with regards to how many leads, so because we're running a lot of ads as well as doing the SEO, everything needs tracking from the very start of how much the website cost, how much content's gone into it, how much links have gone into it, how much Facebook ads, PPC, Twitter ads, YouTube ads, everything, right? All the costs need attributing to a site, right? And then how many impressions and clicks that we're getting, and then how many inquiries that we're getting, and then they'll have on their end, which kind of normally we try to do it via an API, they'll have on their end a certain database. If they've not, we make them set up a Google Sheet, right? Which we can talk to the Google Sheet, which feeds back via like Zapier. I think there's 1 or 2 others that we're using as well, that feeds back into our database to see how many impressions, how many clicks, how many leads, how much conversion, and they assign a cost, an estimated cost of what they think that lead is worth. Now, even whether they convert it or they don't convert it, they just assign what they think that lead is worth, which feeds back into our systems to say whether it's good or whether it's bad. Then with the physical, what they pay is we've got like business development managers that are speaking through to them. And we know in certain markets that if you're getting the subprime mortgage leads, on average, it would be around £25 a lead is kind of what we should be getting. So as long as we're getting on a back end more than £25 a lead, where some customers we might be getting 60, 70, £80 on average a lead, but they don't pay per lead. They're only paying, okay, we won this job is £1,000. Oh, we won this job is £800. As long as when we're working it back, it kind of assigns to more than what we're happy to get per lead, then that's fine. But then we've then got to segment them of being like, that's a subprime lead. But if we know that they put more filters in place, like we only want it above £200,000 and we only want it in London area, that lead price might be £200 a lead. So if they're not giving us £200 a lead, then they're not good enough at converting our inquiries. Because we've got to, like Kurt Phillip at Convertica, he obsesses over conversion rate optimization. So we'll go and get a website, and if he can improve that website by 1% and it's getting lots of clicks, that could add £20,000, £30,000 onto your bottom line. literally just by changing some colors of buttons, the text that's on the buttons, the wording that's above the button, which then kind of incentivizes them to click it. That's all great. And this is what SEOs obsess over, about conversion rate optimization. But where I went back when I said rank and rent's probably 10 times more difficult than traditional SEO, on top of all that, we've got to be tracking conversion rate of how good that customer is, even though he says he's good. How quickly do they ring them up? How good is their sales team at converting those jobs and stuff like that? And we've got to start doing attribution. And is it better for us to do more lead nurturing? Like, should we, instead of sending like a quick contact form to them to fill in, and we're better doing like a long form piece of content and then like a multi-step form and getting more information out of them than just a quick form? Well, if I spoke to Kurt Phillip, Kurt would say, no, just do the quick form, 10% more convert with a quick form or whatever, than asking it 20 questions. Yeah, but at the back end, if I ask them the 20 questions and they fill it all in, the conversion after they've gone through this big quiz and how I can segment them leads a lot more might be worth a lot more to me. So even though it might be less conversion rate on the website, the conversion rate at the back end could be that they're worth 5, 6, 7 times more money than if it's just a quick form that we don't know what kind of, like, let's say they're in debt and we don't know what debt level they're in, or they want a mortgage and we don't know whether they want a 50 grand mortgage or a 300 grand mortgage. We might not be able to sell it to our premium mortgage broker when we should have sold it to them or passed it through to them. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. Can you do it by creating mass AI content and hitting it with citations and links and get inquiries? Absolutely, you can. Can some people make good money by doing that? Absolutely, they can. Is that what we do? Absolutely not. Like we've done it now for over 10 years. We listen to the customers, and I think sometimes it's an SEO's worst nightmare, because they're like not speaking to clients. They're like just doing affiliate and display ads that they don't need to speak to anyone. Where we've got a hungry team, and the culture is that they'd prefer to pick up the phone and speak to them than they would send an email, because they want to know this information. And sometimes having that conversation with someone can abstract new keywords that we didn't even know about. Sometimes they're on the phone and go, oh, I thought you knew that. And you're like, no, because you've never said it before. I'm like, I don't know your niche as well as you know your niche. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what we do and how we set it all up.
Yeah, and I think you made a really good point there about having more data. And data has been the biggest commodity in the world for a long time now. And I think going into an AI-powered future, the more data that you can extract from your niche, your leads, your website, everything is going to make you more powerful, more efficient, better at your job, better at your game, better at your business, and at the end of the day, better at profit generating than all of your competitors. So trying to extract and build that data now and setting it up for the future is what is going to set a lot of people apart, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, also you've got to think of certain stuff like, now we've had the data now for 10 years and it's our data that we own, right? That we know that 2 years down the line, after someone's took out a mortgage, we know that person. We then can follow that person up to say, are you looking for a remortgage? Have you seen the interest rates of what's happening at the moment? You might want to get a remortgage. That's not SEO. They've not retyped anything back in Google. We're reworking that data, knowing exact timestamps that they've not filled in a form anywhere, but we've basically made them aware. Or it might be 18, 19, 20 months in, we might just start just not asking them anything about a remortgage. We might start going, by the way, do you know about this with the interest rates? By the way, here's our predictions of what might be happening next year. Oh, by the way, here's a mortgage calculator. Next minute, before they know, they're going, oh, we might be looking to move house, or, oh, 2 years is up for our fixed rate mortgage, which we already knew it was, because we was the initial ones that did it. Can we now do that? Then there's other bits where the people on the phone that are selling a mortgage might be able to cross-sell them life insurance, because life insurance, when you first get a mortgage, let's say you and Mint decide to go and get a mortgage together, that's probably the time where you might decide together to do a joint life insurance policy. So we can cross-sell into life insurance. If someone's taking out a pension at that time, they might also be going like, oh, right, normal, obviously in the pensions, there must be 55 plus if they're looking to maybe transfer any pensions or do anything like that. If you're 55 plus, you might also be looking at like funeral insurance to have your funeral be prepaid. You might also be looking for maybe equity release. You might be looking to release some equity out your house for your daughter's getting married, or you want to do that perfect cruise with a family. We've got this data now that allows us to absorb and use that data for inquiries that they didn't even inquire about. And that's key as well. And that's where data for us, and where sometimes where we've got to keep looking into it a bit further, going, well, actually, this data is worth more than that data. So it's not just about how much is it per lead on PPC and how much can we sell it for. There's lots of other moving parts. And if I'm being honest with you, there's times where it blows my mind where AI is working out and crunching this data and it's telling you that this is worth more than that. And I'm like, no, that's worth more than this. And it's like, no, this is worth more than that in the lifetime value. And I'm like, oh, right. You want to know, when you start sitting down and looking at it, you're thinking, we can scale that out a lot more, but we didn't, because we just thought it was almost break-even stage. And then when you start getting that data and you're like, actually, if I get a lead for 50 quid and I'm selling it for 50 quid, or on average, I'm getting back 50 quid, it's worth it, because I know that they're going to want this again. And I know that they want that again. So obviously you'll know like SaaS and stuff like that. That's why the value of SaaS or like databases, they're obviously worth a lot more of a multiplier than a traditional SEO site or affiliate site. You might only get 2 or 3 years for an affiliate site, because all them businesses start from zero every month, where if you've got a big data set, if all my websites tank tomorrow, I could generate a lot of inquiries still from the database and the paid ads and everything else that I do. I kind of try to make certain that I diversify as much as I can, that if one income stream or one kind of traffic stream went down, I'm still fine. Obviously, I don't want any traffic stream going down, but I'm still fine to do it. And I try and build what real businesses would do.
I also really like how you kind of said in there that you've already let AI augment your decision making, and it's allowed you to be way more efficient and way better at that. And I think that that's really signs of the future, right? And I think that that's a massive endorsement of allowing these technologies to make us way more efficient, way more profitable, everything along this line. So I really appreciate you coming on. I think you've blown my mind and everyone else's mind on here with just so many knowledge bombs here, and we could probably do, you know, a 5-6 hour podcast if we really, really wanted to. And I've still got questions here that I wanted to ask you to, but we'll have to do a third episode longer down the line. Is there anywhere anyone can find you online?
Yeah, I've got jamesdooley.com, and in the footer there, it links to all my social profiles. I'm doing quite a bit more on Twitter and on YouTube at present, trying to be omnipresent everywhere, to be fair. And probably the biggest statement at the end of it is, with regards to who we are as a business, is that we're big enough to trust, but small enough to care. And we've still got that business hunger to make certain that all of our customers get a return on investment. Is key, which keeps our clients happy, which then keeps our staff happy. That is key to everything of our success. Certain people are trying to shortcut, try and just do what Google wants you to, which is helpful content, but think of it for the user, right? And long term, you'll win on that front. And 2, listen to your customers and do how they make money. If they're not making money, if they're saying they're not making money, they're probably not. So listen to them and adapt your skill. Like you said, we're big enough to trust, but small enough to care, that we will adapt all of our strategies. Like you just said there with AI, if AI can improve who I am as an individual and improve my output or any of my staff's output, I'm gonna use it. If it doesn't improve it, then I'm not going to use it. But if it does, I want to be the best version of myself, and I want my staff to be the best version of themselves they can be.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you once more. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.